As memories. Oh, snap. Recording in progress.
Woo!
Okay.
I signed the waiver.
Okay,
Waiver.
we are officially live. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, people of the world, welcome to the Community Spotlight reunion. I cannot believe that an entire year has gone by. So, I wanted to share with you all why we're here today and explain what the Community Spotlight Project is, and then introduce you to all these beautiful people who actually took time out, to share their stories and to just come together for something beautiful. So I'm happy to see you all. Happy Pride, happy summer. So a little introduction and recap. What is the Community Spotlight Project? The Community Spotlight Project was literally something that arose from quarantine during the height of COVID-19. I thought to myself, how can I give back to my community with my gifts and talents in a way that is impactful and was also, it was also pride, right? So I wanted to celebrate what it means to champion diversity, being pride-filled. So little by little, I started to reach out to all of you. And you're also beautiful in your own diversity and full of pride in so many ways of your own, by the passion you display for your jobs, your projects, your families, your friendships, your partners, your talents, so on and so forth, right? So I also wanted to say that I believe in the power and value of connections and storytelling. And something that I'm coming to realize about myself throughout all this process is that I feel like I'm a connector. I kind of have a gift for connecting people in different ways, whether it's through my job or my own personal stuff. And I'm so happy that I was able to connect you all today. So a virtual applause, she ready. So in order to get everyone prepared for this, I actually took time out to, as you guys know, to write you a little letter, but I actually want to share that letter to you all because I think it's special, So to my dear Community Spotlight family, thank you so much for opening yourselves up to sharing your story during one of the most difficult times in human history. I, as well as so many others, applaud your bravery, honesty, and vulnerability. All the work that each of you do is immensely important, and please keep doing it because it brings so much joy to so many people. One of the many things that I've observed you all have in common is that no matter your circumstances, you never stopped working for a greater good in the face of adversity. So during 2020, y'all ain't stopped. Y'all kept it going, and that's what's important, right? So you're all truly inspiring, okay? So without any further ado, we wanted to do a quick check-in. So basically, I'm gonna call on you, and you're gonna give me your name and a fun fact about yourself. All right. So obviously your name is displayed, but just reiterate your name and a fun fact about yourself. And then after that, we're actually gonna do some formal introductions one by one. Okay. So at the top of my screen, I have Eddie Pabon.
Hey, hello.
Hey, Pa.
That was a beautiful letter. Thank you.
Yeah.
So spontaneous thing about myself. Well, the interesting fun thing about myself was that I'd say I'm spontaneous. I like to do random things and be a clown. I don't show that very much. I think people perceive me as more serious, but because the whole meditation thing, whatever stereotypes people have associated with that. But yeah, I like to be spontaneous, have fun, and just goof around and laugh life away.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so next on my screen, I see Erika Hidalgo. Erika.
Hello, everybody. Well, as you know, my name is Erica, and it's pretty odd that Eddie and I have something in common. A lot of people, whether it's at my job or people that don't know me at all, they see in me that I'm so serious, like, oh my God, like you're so serious. But the people that really, really know me well, like my close circle of friends, they know that I'm the clown. Like they always be calling me for parties. They'll be like, listen, if you don't come to the party, it's not gonna be a party. So you better show up to the party. If you don't have money for an Uber, we'll send you the Uber. We'll pick you up. We need you. If not, ain't gonna be a party. I'm like, oh my God, like Saturday. For example, Saturday I was with some friends. Had to go all the way to Co-op City in the Bronx. I ended up all the way up there just to make the party. I'm like, all right.
That's beautiful.
But people that when they see me, they're like, oh my God, why are you so serious? I'm like,
meanwhile, your friends are like, where you at? Come through.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You reminded me of something that I'll share at the end. But okay. So next on my screen, I see Samuel. Samuel, I'm gonna take you off of mute. Okay. Let me click. All right, you're off of mute.
No, before anything, I would like to thank you for this great opportunity to kind of like helping us to share our stories, to share our talent. And for me, it means a lot. You know that I love you. And tú eres mi hermano. The funny thing like about me that I can say is that a lot of people, they might think like anybody from Dominican Republic, they like bachata. I don't like bachata. I only dance it. I only dance bachata, but I don't listen to it. What I do listen a lot is about like rock music, and one of my favorite bands is Evanescence. So I love it. I love it.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. All right. So Eddie Baez, you are next.
Yeah. Hey, so hi Jomil. So a fun thing fact about me is I'm the self-appointed mayor of Gayborhood, Jersey City. So that's like a Facebook group that has over 3,100 people in it. So it's kind of like what you were saying about Jomil and connecting. I think that's why we connected, because what I do is very similar in terms of connecting people in Jersey City. So that's kind of fun because I can't, that's a position that I'm not going to lose because I self-appointed myself. So that's for life.
Exactly. I love that. I love that. No, that's beautiful. So you see, like everyone here is authentically powerful in what they do. And you see that everybody kind of like, it just has a passion, you know what I mean? So whether it's like something that you started yourself, and we'll get into that because a lot of you have obviously done a lot of great work, and we talked about in the community spotlight when we did it, one-on-one. And you guys shared with me things that I never would have thought. So that's why I wanted you to share a fun fact, because obviously, we come off as one way, but then when we actually start to talk and communicate, we actually start to open up and be like, oh, we realize like, wow, like we're actually not that different. Or I totally perceived you because I judged the book by its cover, but the book is actually more beautiful when you open it up. So I'll share that, believe it or not, as extroverted as I seem, I, in my own personal life, tend to be very cool, calm, and collected.
No way.
No way, right?
The lies.
And so that's a little fun fact, because it's just so weird how I tend to just I come alive more in public, but just in my own everyday, I'm very like, and at work, I'm just boom, 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 and I'm like más serio. So that's my little fun fact, so that people know, Jomil Luna ain't that crazy. She crazy, but she ain't that crazy. All right, so next, I'm gonna go down the same order. So basically, I wanted you guys to all share your formal introduction. What do you do for work, professionally, your artistry or hobbies, anything that you want to share. So this is your moment to kind of tell a little bit about your bio, okay? So I'll start with Eddie again.
Aha, no pressure. No, so I'm Eddie Pavol, as you mentioned many times already. I'm an author of an amazing book called The Summer Rise in December that is and a detailed outlining of my upbringing. That was layers of trauma that I overcame. That's my past, right? Currently, I guide people through meditations. I'm a meditation coach and the founder of lecheweare.com. Leche is an acronym. So I wore the shirt so you can remind yourself later. It's a long acronym, but it's love, energy, community, healing, and empowerment. It's really just a free community for anybody who wants to improve their self-care and band up with other folks who are into mindfulness. We do hikes, giveaways, and of course, meditation coaching. So that's pretty much me. I love to help people. I love to show up where I'm called to, and I believe in divine timing. Something I've seen here really quick before I pass it off is this repetitive theme of not making assumptions about people based on their looks or what you think about them, just getting to know people, because we all seem to have really fun aspects to us that you wouldn't get from just looking at us, right? So thank you for having me again. And awesome stuff you're doing. I appreciate you.
Good stuff. Thank you for sharing. Okay, Erika.
Well, yeah, I gotta say the same thing. First of all, before I start, thank you for having me again. I mean, thank you for not forgetting about me. You know, I have a lot of love for you. You've been there for me from day one, and you know, I love you for that.
I love you too.
So my job, I'm a health educator. Currently, I work at Northwell Hospital in Long Island, Manhasset. I actually met Jomil when I was working at ACQC. I worked there for 7 years. That was my home where everything started, where all of me started. My artistry, I should say, well, I'm a poetry writer. I write poetry. I've been writing since the age of 12. My book is coming out in days are counting down. I already a publishing company. It's almost out there. It's in Spanish. I was debating between English or Spanish because most of my poems have been written in English, and they all about, nothing is fictitious. Everything has to do with my life because I went through a lot of trauma as a adolescent, as a young child. And then I divided it in 5 chapters, different chapters of my life, things that I went through. And I didn't put any names on it because I didn't want to, but I know who are they written for, and everything came out of the heart. There was a lot of pain. There's a lot of pain in a lot of them, and I want people to connect with those poems. It's part of my life, and it's part of something that's out of me that it took years for me to bring it out and share it with the world. And now that I'm ready, it's just days for it to be out. It's like I said, it's in Spanish. It's called, I named it Mi Vida en un Millón de Versos. So
Beautiful.
yeah,
Sorry.
so I'm really excited. Yeah, I'm really excited. So I let you guys know. I mean, Jomil, obviously, she's gonna be my big person there. I want.
Yes, we're gonna do a book signing.
Absolutely,
Oh,
absolutely.
cool.
Exactly.
They already
That's-
opened my Amazon account. My publisher already opened my Amazon account and everything. So he's just waiting for me to send him the final details because I'm very picky icky. So I changed a lot of things at the end when he was almost finished, and I said, "Well, hold on." So he said, "Okay, I'm giving you 2 more weeks." So the 2 weeks ends this weekend, so it's done. So I assume that by the end of the month, the first week of July, it should be up.
Awesome. Well, God bless. Yes.
Wait, I want a copy, so
Absolutely.
I'm gonna be buying my copy.
Okay.
Yes. Very good. Very good.
One of my hobbies is I like to try different foods. Like I like to try different foods, and I like to travel. I haven't traveled since 2019 due to COVID, but I'm planning to go to Puerto Rico soon. So I love to travel. So I'm a traveler. I can't stay still. I have to go away. Go.
Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And let me unmute Samuel. Samuel, if you would like to share, what you do for work, professionally, artistry, or hobbies.
All right. Well, for me, my passion is basically helping others. I have a lot of people here, which is for me, like I love to, that every time that I talk to someone and make them feel good, that fill my soul. And like at the moment, like I'm a motivational speaker, and I work in the retail store as a visual merchandiser. My first book that I published is called Find Your Destiny. In Spanish, it's Encuentra tu Destino. I have both of them here, both of the version here.
And I have them both too.
Yes, I have mine too.
Lord Jesus. Like in that book, I basically like face myself, and I wake up to my reality, and also like it was a way for me to share my story and the stories of people that inspire me. So at the moment, like what I'm doing is basically like working on on my second book that is coming up hopefully by the end of this month or this next month. That's called, and in this new book is called 50 días de reflexión, which is translated to 50 days of reflection. So we'll see what will happen. And my hobbies, in last year in the COVID, I learned something new about myself, which is like hiking. So like here and there, sometimes I go out of New York City, out of this big city to kind of like go back to nature. And now that it's summer, and you know that we all waiting for summer, I'm gonna try to do it more, because for me it helped me out to get out of this.
Come hike with us. We do a hike every month.
I was
do a
about to
Out of Their
say,
Mindfulness hike.
Samuel,
We
you gotta
hike
connect
and we
with
do a
Eddie.
meditation.
Me
We'll
too.
talk, brother. Yeah. We do
Mira. Okay, so definitely.
Yup.
but we do it all year round, brother. So
Exactly.
whenever you fit in, get in.
You
Gotta
see
send
how
me-
it is?
You gotta send me
Thank
the
you.
info, Eddie. I want to go too.
Let's go. We have
Yep.
one this Saturday, but I have a whole calendar. I'll send it to you all. It's at outerthere.com.
Exactly.
Nice.
Exactly. I love it. See, the connections are happening. Okay, very good.
Nice.
Okay, Eddie, if you would like to share, Eddie Baez.
Yeah, my name is Eddie Baez. By training, I'm a social worker, and so a fun fact, which I should have mentioned before, was that I was a flight attendant before I became a social worker for Pan Am. So I am that old, but I got to experience flying when it was, a luxury thing to do. And in around '89, I shifted, and I realized that flying wasn't something I was meant to do my whole life. So I was already 31 or 2 by then, and then what I did was I became a social worker. So and specifically to work with people with HIV and AIDS. So I've been doing that, and I just calculated, I think I'm going on 32 years of that type of work. And I've gone from the direct work, like at Bronx, Lebanon, at the very beginning, when it was the tip of the iceberg. It was beyond the pandemic. And so, I went from that to doing administrative work, and now I work with the AIDS education and training centers. And the area that I work in is New York, New Jersey, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. And so with that, I coordinate a program that works with medical students, nurses, train them how to work together in serving people with HIV and AIDS. But there's a whole other side of me, which I think is equally as big. And it's, you have the vocation and you have the avocation, but my real passion is Jersey City pride. And it's something that I've been doing, I think, for the last 8 or 9 years. And, last year it was a little bit difficult because, we had to figure out what we were going to do. I have a co-producer now, and he was great, Joseph Cameron. We worked together last year. We did the first live and virtual Pride, because ours is in August. So we were able to, do things that were live, but with very small groups of people. And then we had a 7-hour broadcast. This year, we didn't know until a week ago, when things opened up in Jersey City, that we could have our festival. And so now I'm in full festival mode. And to be honest with you, I see that, I was kind of feeling low. And then all of a sudden, this is really, gotten me going. And, it's all I think about. So I work. And while I'm working, I'm doing that. I'm doing Pride. And then I end this. And then I go to another meeting. But I'm excited to say that we are going to do it on August 21st. So, and that doesn't leave too much room for hobby. What I can say is that I really love to dance, and dancing has been something that's really helped me release stress that I've had in my life. And I've really missed being able to go out and be with friends and dance. And so I'm looking forward to that. And so that's going to happen pretty soon. So it's exciting.
That's exciting. Yeah. No, I agree. So you better call me when you go to the club.
Right?
Yep.
Right? I want to invite.
Yes.
We should also a reunion in the club.
Right. No, exactly. Let our hair down, literally. Mira. So actually, Eddie. Hola. Hi, Eric. That's Eddie's life partner, Eric, and husband. Mira, Eddie. So I actually wanted to, start with you again, or start with you, since you left off. So in your opinion, how important is the power of storytelling? Uh-oh, the Eddie Freeze.
This is bias, right?
This is bias. Oh, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. Oh, yeah, I wanted to start.
Okay.
I get confused with, I know.
Oh, you want to
there's
go
two
the
Eddies.
other way around?
The other way around, from the,
Intrigue me.
from the bottom to the top.
Right. Okay. The power of storytelling, I think it's, it's really, I can express it. It's huge. The impact that you can have by sharing your personal story is incredible. And I often don't even realize the impact that I'm having. So I'll share something about myself, and then people will make a comment, and I realize, wow, like I really affected all these people, but I was just being who I am and sharing the different parts of me. And then, I realize that people appreciate that. They appreciate people that are being authentic. And that's how I try and carry myself. So I think it's, it's great. I've been helped by hearing other people's stories, and I hope that, I help other people, when they listen to mine.
That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for that. All right. And so I'm going to go up. So Samuel, if you can share, in your opinion, how important is the power of storytelling?
For me, it's everything, because like sometimes we get caught up of thinking that our stories are, because it's similar to other people's story, it's not valuable, and it's not true. Our stories are unique. It needs to be told. It needs to be written. It needs to be shared, because like you never know if that your story can give you the next step to that person to get to the destiny that person wants. And like there's a couple of times that people, friend of mine, they come to me and say, Sammy, I would like you to write my story. I say like, no, I'm sorry, I can't. I would love to, but I can't. I want you to write your story, because like in the process of writing, it happens. A lot of things happen. You connect again with your past, your feelings, your the good and the bad, and you put it in the immortal walls that the writing give you. And like it's a therapy that allow yourselves to talk to yourself. Sometimes we are so afraid to talk to ourselves, but for us, like in the process of writing our stories, also sharing our stories, we give value to the world.
Exactly. Beautiful. Beautifully said. I love it. And so Erica, if you would like to share next.
Sure. Well, I definitely have to agree with everyone else here. I truly believe that there's always a time in your life when something hits you. Like, I'm gonna put myself as an example. When the time came for me to realize that I had to share the experiences that I've been through, that everything that went through in my life, not, but first I have to learn to heal myself. I have to learn to heal from those wounds in order for me to share and help other people, because that's what I love to do. I went to school for something totally different. And then I realized, when I landed a job at ACQC, I was like, whoa, this is like what I was meant to be, from day one. But by that point, I was in the process of still healing and getting to know myself, learning to love myself. And when all of that was fulfilled, I felt that I was spiritually ready to help others and to share with others what I've been through since I was a child, because it wasn't easy. Because when you go to a therapy, people tell you, oh, you have to go to a therapist, oh, you have to go to a psych. That's not the way it works. You are your own therapy. You are your own healer. You have to learn to find a way. That's all. Sometimes it could take a month, a year, 10 years. For me, it took me many years. And then when I came to the point, I feel like I'm on top of the hill. I feel like, oh my God, like I could do anything I want. I feel happy. I love myself. I love where I am now. This point in my life, I'm like, I can't believe where I am. I'm like, I turn around and when I see my past, I'm like, thank you to my past, I am where I am now. The woman that I am today. I'm strong, I'm happy, I'm beautiful. I'm here to give other people what I have to. Sometimes my friends call me, like, sometimes I feel like I'm Mother Teresa. I'm like, oh my God, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I ain't got time for that right now, baby. I'm like,
Oh
you
my
got time to
God,
go to the
I
club. You
totally
got time
resonate with
I told you,
that.
like my friend called me yesterday. She's like, "Boy, I saw that you were partying Sunday at the Queen's Pride Parade." I'm like, "Oh, what?" I was like, "Oh, but you don't have time to talk to me." I said, "Okay, okay." Well, so I had to hear the whole story, and then But I love doing that. That's me. I learned how to do it, and so to anybody that needs me, I'm there from there because now, like I said, I heal myself. I love myself every morning when I wake up. And that's the same thing that I tell my friends. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you gotta say, "Oh, I love myself. I'm so beautiful. Damn, world, get ready. Here I come."
Yes.
That's right. You better do it, girl. She ready.
All the way. All the way.
I know, right? Amazing, amazing. Hi, Erika. Man, you lift people up. Let me tell you. I love it.
You, Erica, I love your affirmations. I am beautiful. I am ready. I am doing it. I am showing up. All of that, right?
And
That's
I'm
beautiful.
sexy, baby.
Yes.
I didn't want to say it because but there we go.
Así mismo. No, and you got to speak it. You got to do it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay, so Eddie Pavon.
It's interesting because you said earlier that you're a connector, and so is Eddie, right? And I would like to consider myself, I think we're all connected, right? I mean, I know we're all connected. We're all part of this thing called life. And the beauty of storytelling is that you get to share your experience from a different angle. Like you said, Erica, hopefully you're healed, right? You have to heal first. You have to give yourself some love and explore that story. Share it with folks though, right? For people who have healed and help them guide you, right? But there's so much therapeutic value both ways. From like Samuel was saying, when you're writing your own story, you are letting go of that stuff. You are releasing it, right? When you share it with others, you are sharing the energy that the story carries, and that has immense value. You can't count for what comes up, the variables that come through when you put yourself out there and you share with people your deepest, darkest, right? And the Summarize in December for me was that. I can tell you 3 years later that I'm working on more books, yes, but God, the feeling of connecting with people all around the world who are like, you helped me. And I never thought I would be able to do that. I wrote it and I was like, this, I'm a fucking Eddie from the Bronx. Like, where is this going to go? Right. And it's been such an experience. I have to say, it's very fulfilling to just live your authentic self and to believe in yourself. Take a chance on yourself. Your story is your superpower. So whatever your story is, start to get to telling, because you are then exercising your power. And you're a hero, baby. You're a warrior. You've been through the struggle already when you can say you've been through things and you're standing here to share it. We never account for the strength that it took for us to get through those things. We're so busy reciting the negative, right? But the positive is that we're here standing and we're solid. We made it. We all made it through fucking a pandemic. First of all, hello, we're here, right? And we ready.
Yeah.
But I think, now it's time to party, like Erica was saying, and I'm ready to go to Jersey City Pride. I've never been, Eddie, so I'm excited for that. Let's go.
That's right.
I'm ready to read some books and some poems.
Where to go? I'll be there.
Yes.
All right, there we go.
I love Jersey City.
There we go. We got a little crew now. You see, we're gonna come deep. That is awesome. That is awesome.
We all have so much love, energy to share, as a community. And when we band up, we heal and we empower each other. This is where Leche came from for me. So, thank you for letting me share my story on here and have my little blip. And it's things like this that create community. You're fostering community, Jomil. And 30 plus years in social work, Eddie, you're killing it, man. I did, social services for a while. That's not easy. I didn't make it. I opted out into coaching. But it takes a certain kind of resilience and skin to do the work that you're all doing. So I'm proud of you all and thank you. It's a blessing to be in the same space. And namaste. Thank you.
Yes. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, no, and so something that just you reminded me. This was meant to be only for like June, believe it or not, and I think it was my conversation with Eddie Pavon that he basically was like, why are you gonna stop? Like, this is so amazing. And it's like that push that I also needed, and we need each other, right? So that was like, so this is like a little bit of a segue, right? Because Eddie, you touched on 2020 and like how we got through that, this was like my own little way to get through that. So that segues into the next question, which is, what are some of the life lessons coming out of 2020 or in general, that you guys have learned? And so I'm going to be random with this. So I'm going to pick on Erika.
Oh my God. What are some of the lessons from 2020? Well, to be honest with you, I was hoping, because there was so much negativity surrounding our world, and it's like you always want to do better for others, especially when you start with your family, you start thinking about your close circle, right? So I was hoping, I'm like, well, I first of all, I was hoping that nobody will, nothing will happen to any of my close circle, family, friends, acquaintances, and that this will be a lesson for all of them to change, and also for the people here in our city, to make changes and see, be thankful that you were not the one in that hospital bed, saying goodbye to the world and giving your last breath. So I was like, I hope that people make a little, there were people in the streets, I here where I live, Helmut's Hospital was right here. That was the pandemic of everything. I was like, I remember one day I was just walking and there was police, this whole streets were closed down. I was like scared. I was like, what is going on? I didn't even know. I didn't even know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I was really hoping that, people will be a change and say, you know what, God gave me or whoever you think, is the person up there that you believe, gave me a second choice to be here again. So I should be a better person. And when you see somebody in the street, at least give them, a piece of bread, a glass of water, anything, because you don't know, you could be there tomorrow, or maybe you will not be here now, and try to do something better for people. So, unfortunately, I guess that didn't work in a lot of people that I personally know, people that are close to me. And that was so disappointing to me personally, because I felt in a way heartbroken, because I was like, you were giving a second chance and you should be better. But some people got worse in a lot of different ways, selfish and all of those things. And I'm like, well, you cannot change people. I mean, everybody is the way they are. But me personally, I kept doing the work that I was doing. Plus, I started putting more energy on helping others, like outside my own personal job, which is working, as a health educator at a hospital. I started working, giving more energy to the volunteer work that I do in the Bronx with the Earthly Angel Warriors, which we, feed the homeless. I did that this weekend with them. We just randomly go and we feed the homeless. We give them clothing, we give them food, we give them whatever they need, and it's something that I think that it's a shame that not everybody thinks the same way. It's like, and if you just one little thing that you do, you could change the world, or something that you could say to somebody to lift them up a little,
Mm.
instead of that negativity and all of that stuff. I think that's, it's unfortunate that it hasn't hit people like that, but I think personally that I got better on that particular way, and I'm glad I did it. I really like a little refresh, on myself, like my chakras, little cleansing over there. So.
Exactly. No, and I'm happy that you share, because it's different, right? People's experiences, they might interpret it, treat it differently, but I'm happy that you chose the positive route. You know what I mean? Because it's not easy to always choose that route because of the voices around us or in our head, right? So that's awesome. And so let me just skip down. I'll skip down to Eddie Baez, if you would like to share some of, just your lessons coming out of 2020 or in general in life.
So I think a major one for me was really having to let myself be free in my thoughts and think outside of the box, especially when it came to something like pride, because there was no, thing that it wasn't going to happen. It was going to happen one way or another. And the thing is that it's until the very last minute, we weren't quite sure how it was going to happen. And so then you have to realize that you're, really think of different ideas, different ways of doing things. How could we give the community as much as possible, keep people safe, but keep the spirit of pride alive? And so that was a huge thing for me to see that I really had that ability to do that. But I had on a personal note, I think something really big for me, and I think Eddie Pabon, because talking about healing before, I had a big lesson with my mother because my mother is 97 and she got COVID in January of this year. And it was one of those things where, she seemed to be okay, but I found out on a Monday that her home attendant on Friday had gone to the doctor, and she found out Monday that she was positive. So right there, I knew, well, she was with my mother the Wednesday before. So it was pretty clear that something was happening. And then my gut, I was just feeling my gut, and somebody said, oh, she doesn't want to eat. Your mother doesn't want to eat. But they always complain, the home attendants, that she ate too much. So I'm like, wait a second. So she doesn't want to eat. And then they told me she had a stomach issue. And I just knew. And I called up her doctor. And the first doctor that I spoke to was really like, do you really want to put her through coming to the hospital? Why don't you like monitor her symptoms? She doesn't have a cough. She doesn't have a fever. So, keep her at home. And then I insisted and I spoke to her main doctor, and she told me, bring her in. And so I brought her in, and, I found out that she actually had COVID pneumonia that was starting. She just wasn't, it had just started. And the fact that I brought her in on time, they said it was like, what saved her. But the amazing thing for me is that she didn't know that she had COVID. I didn't tell her. I didn't think that we needed to tell her. She wasn't asking. So, and I think that her healing, what I noticed was that she healed in a way that, everybody was totally surprised. She came back better than before. And I think the key to it was that she didn't have that fear. She didn't know that she had something that could kill her. And the year before, she had a stroke. And I told my sister, why are we going to tell her? She can't hear, so she can't hear that she's not speaking well. So, and she doesn't know. And I think had we told her that she had a stroke, that would have devastated her, because her sister at 32 had a stroke and lived with it her whole lifetime. So for my mother, that would have been too much. But I realized like those two things taught me that with healing, part of it is fear, and the big role that fear has. And when you think that, the end is coming, but you don't even really know, and you start to give into that fear, that's, I think something that gets in the way of healing. So that was a huge lesson for me. And the other thing is to realize, shit, she's here at 97, she survived that. And guess what? I'm like, that's my mom, that's who I am. And, I come from a very strong stock. And I need to keep that in mind, all the things that she's gone through that I've seen in a lifetime, and apply those lessons to myself and realize, this is, we can do it. Everybody can like survive, even the toughest of times.
Amen to that. And I'm so happy that your mother is still around and you do come from strong stock. Hello. Because Eddie, tú lo ves ahí, él está duro. I'm not going to share his age, but ella está dura.
You can share it. I'm going to be 65 on June 26th.
Yo,
so that's
isn't that amazing?
There's no shame. There's
no shame. Exactly. Exactly. That's a beautiful blessing. Yes. No, and I'm so happy, that I've gotten to know all of you, you know what I mean? As you guys are sharing these stories, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like this is like amazing, you know what I mean? Because it's like, it's human life, the struggles, trials, and tribulations that we go through. Okay, so let me go. I'm gonna do Sammy, and then I'm gonna go up to Eddie Babon. Okay, so Sammy, do you want to go next?
Definitely. Eddie, thank you so much for sharing that, because like to share something like that is really hard, because like you come from a strong family. Your mom is a proof of that, and like for me, it's it's like a reminder. Like talk more with your mom, talk more with your grandmother. Like you never know what it could happen, and like and also like I learned from your story that it's important to keep like a positive mindset in the hard moment, and like you and your sister know what she went through with her sister, and you kind of like managed to not tell her, but at the same time to keep her positive. And she, like as you mentioned, she can get out of the hospital better. And like, seriously, man, I really appreciate that for you to sharing that story with us. For me, last year it was a moment of reflection because like I was working a lot. I did not I was writing like a machine and things like that, but I did not have a time to pause and to talk to myself more and to see Sammy what's going on and to ask more questions about who am I, what I want to do, because like interests always change. You're never the same, even if you notice or not, but you're never the same. And like last year, I set higher goals to myself, and I did not reach some of those goals, and I felt really bad about it. But I had to feel bad because I had to feel that pain because it will help me out to kind of release it and then move on. And like last year, I understood that you don't have to do a lot of things at the same time. It's just to focus on just one thing and do it the best that you can, and then go on to the next one. I learned about the process of loving the imperfection, that you're not perfect. Any project that you're gonna put your hands on it, it will not be perfect, but it will be beautiful as long as you think about it. And that's some of the lesson that I learned last year in my part.
That's beautiful. You guys
That is beautiful.
You guys are getting too deep. I swear, you're gonna make a tear come out.
Listen, I'm a very emotional person. I'm holding back. I'm being, cute for the video. Nah.
Yeah, so 85 you can go next. Yeah.
Thank you all for sharing that. That was beautiful. You all touched a lot of things that like kind of, it's beautiful to culminate into what I wanted to say, which is like the first and foremost thing that I've been thinking, feeling, tasting, touching for a long time is that our life is so fun, it's so short, right? We're here for a split second. Tomorrow's not promised to any of us. And so each moment is precious, and we have to enjoy those moments. We have to be present in those moments. We have to choose to be in a higher vibration, right? What you said, Eddie, was crucial to the point that I'm trying to make, in that like fear, you manifest, your thoughts manifest your feelings, your motivations or lack thereof, right? And so if you're thinking fear, thinking pandemic, thinking death, thinking depression, thinking failure, thinking all those things, you're feeling those things, and that's the reality you're living. And every second you're doing that, you are wasting an opportunity to be laughing, smiling, creating, enjoying good company, creating memories that you're going to look back and smile over, right? And so I've learned that life is so precious, and it wasn't promised to us anyway. So fuck a COVID, because we're still here. You know what I'm saying? And I think because I lived throughout the HIV sort of situation, right? I've been HIV positive since 2003. And so for me, COVID was the new AIDS, if you will, right? And we've learned a lot about HIV over time. But if you go back to the beginning, which Eddie, I'm sure you could attest to, there was a lot of fear surrounded around it, and as a result, we think differently, so we make different actions. You said something earlier, Erica, about some people getting worse over COVID, right? And it was coping skills always, right? What you were doing more of. And so if you were using drugs, you were drinking, or whatever you chose to do, more power to you, right? You were just doing more of that. And so if your thoughts and beliefs and your feelings are negative, then you're serving yourself on that vibration. That's what you're going to get back. I challenge you, I empower you to take your life back from this moment moving forward. Notice when your mind has wandered into the depths of the shitholes we wander into, and pull yourself back into the reality that in this moment you are supported by the earth beneath you, the air you breathe, and you have health and wealth that is life. So you have already won the contest by waking up today. Smile and live your life. That is what I have learned. And so I'm sharing that energy with everyone else. I appreciate you for having me again. Live your fucking life, okay? Just live. That's it. That's all I got. That's what I learned.
I love it. Yeah. No, I can't. We got to scream it out to the universe and put it out. live your fucking life and live your best life. And
so you could look as good as Eddie does at his age.
there you go. Exactly.
Goals,
That's
bro.
right. I love it. I love it. Just want to share one comment that Marilyn, she says, I'm in tears, so powerful. Love these testimonials. And that's essentially, as we're telling our stories and telling stories, it's like these testimonials that are so powerful. But think about how many people, have similar situations, you know what I mean? And just need to hear like, yo, like, I can do it too. I can do it too. Today I choose me. Today I choose to, walk out that door and be my best self. So everything that you guys are saying is so powerful. So thank you.
Last thing I want to say that speaks, I'm sorry. Yes, you touched that. You don't have, we're human beings. Stop being human doings. Samuel, you touched that for a second. We were so busy going before COVID that I learned over COVID, you don't have to do the most to live your best life. You can totally fall back, do more with less. Simplicity is key. And that's where the balance and the peace and all of the things start to flow. That's all I had to say. That's it. That's my rant.
All right. So mira, so Erika, I got to you, right? I got to you. Just making sure. Okay. Because I lost myself in a moment in all your stories, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay. So moving into future highlights. So now this is an area where now you guys have shared, we've connected, and you start to see like where everybody falls, and how like we're gonna go to Jersey City Pride, and we're gonna get each other's books, and and you start to see all this. So now this is your moment to share like some future highlights. So what are some projects or goals that you have coming up that you would like to share with everyone? So I'm gonna start randomly, Samuel.
Oh madre. Why
No
you just
pressure.
give me the math? No pressure. Oh Lord Jesus. Well, I mean, this month or next month, my second book will come in. Well, I will polish it. I can't wait to hold it to smell the pages. I don't even know what I'm gonna say. That's what I'm hoping for. Some of the things that I want to do is gonna like help other people to write the books. I'm currently doing it, and like hopefully next year I can start doing like what is it called, soon live with people to share to help them to share the story, because like in the beginning I don't want to no more to hear people saying, Sammy, can you write my story? No. Can you write your own story? And that for me is something big that I want to do. And the one thing that nobody knows, but you guys gonna be the first one to do it. I'm going to publish maybe in 2 months a podcast where I'm gonna be interviewing writers from different backgrounds, different culture. So in that way they can share their process of writing or publishing, marketing themselves, how they do in the book fairs and things like that, because there's so many people out there that they have a story to tell, but they feel that the stories are not valuable, or maybe because they are afraid, or because of the big bestsellers, that they don't feel that that they don't have to be bestseller, that they can share the story by the books, and that's some of the things that I want to do. And the last thing before that is that right now I'm learning how to play guitar. Oh my God. Now I'm learning how to play guitar. Jesus Christ. Un dominicano.
I saw a picture, and I've been meaning to ask you. I did see a picture, and Samuel, I won't say too much, but he's got the talent, and he does like on stage stuff. So I don't know what he's gonna be performing at the Bronx LGBT Expo. So I'm in for a surprise. Can we say that? Maybe.
Yes.
Okay.
But not a guitar yet. Not a guitar. Only poetry.
Okay. Pues, está bien. Pues, sooner or later.
Yes, definitely.
Maybe at Jersey City Pride one day, or at an event.
Definitely. Looking forward for that.
Exactly. Awesome. So let's go to Eddie Pavon, then to Eddie Baez, and then Erika.
All right. Where do I start? God, I've been busy nowadays. So I took COVID as an opportunity to just work. I am currently adapting the Sunrise in December with a screenwriter into a film. We're gonna try to go Netflix or major motion picture. Either way, I don't care. I'm just leaving to the universe. We're writing it. Also writing a healing journal in collaboration with psychotherapists. We are giving, it's a self-help healing journal, but it's all the everything psychotherapy, therapeutic modalities, along with mindfulness and meditation practice. So stay on the lookout for that. More Leche We Are events, more hikes, more of the things that I'm already doing, and some speaks. That's pretty much it. Unless the universe has a bigger plan in which none of this matters, I will just float.
The universe always has a bigger plan.
Always has a bigger plan. I think I have
Yes.
plans. I start writing stuff down and then I laugh like, yeah, okay. So this is where I gotta go. Okay.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you for sharing. And Eddie Baez?
So actually, everybody here has really inspired me for where I should be going in the future because of, there's 3 writers that are here and, are publishing or have published books. And I've been sitting on a story for over 25 years.
Let's get in touch.
When I was in my 30s, I had a patient that was in his 70s. And he was somebody I met at GMHC. We used to do 3 sessions of therapy, and then he asked me to be a therapist afterwards. So we established that. And, he, in the process of doing the therapy, he had lost his partner of over 40 years. And when he was getting ready for his partner's funeral, he, it's a crazy story. He was like, going to grab for a bag that was on a shelf. He climbed a ladder, he lost his balance, and he grabbed onto a box, and out came hundreds of letters that they had written to each other in 1946, 47, 48. And some of them were daily. It's like letters, telegrams. But for me, it was incredible because he hadn't read those. And so he read them with me for the first time. He didn't even know they existed anymore. He forgot about them. So that was a huge process that we went through. But for me, it was a process of discovery because I didn't realize how sanitized our thinking was. I don't, why in my mind, I didn't think that people said shit, fuck, and they talked about hard-ons in the 40s is beyond me. And all I could think was that all I knew was what Hollywood showed me. And he didn't understand. At one point, we started to turn it into a play. So I edited all the letters, went through the hundreds, made themes, matched them, because the letters were from 2 sides. So I have reams of letters that are from one and reams from the other. So I put together a play from the letters. But he didn't understand when I wanted to like immerse myself in the music of the time, or I was watching like, what were you seeing? What kind of movies were you seeing? What was inspiring you? And he didn't get that part because for him, that was his normal life. And for me, I just didn't understand. I thought, I don't know what impression I had of what people lived like then. So it was a huge lesson. And those letters became a play. We performed it once in Tulane University, where he was a professor, and then it was too much for him. He couldn't, he was exposing too much of himself. And at that time, he wouldn't let me say like any names. They always had to be initials, but these people were long dead. But what if their families are alive? So it ended up that we had an agreement that I would have rights to those letters if something happened to him. And then we lost touch, and years went by. And I went for a job interview at Sage, ran into a friend of mine who also knew this man when I was at GMHC. And he told me that the play was there. He had endowed the play to them and had been performed there. So I got the script back, and then I had all the letters. I found the files with all the letters. So now I have them all. And it's up to me to do something with them. But I think it's, they're really important because I got to see his story is my story. you know, all these years passed, but we went through so many of the same things, so many of the same emotions, you know, not coming out to your family or, you know, friends and what that was like. He actually, the saddest thing was that he did, in the process of doing the letters, he came out to his brother. So now you have somebody who is probably in his early 80s, the brother is late 80s, and he came out to his brother, and his brother told him, he said, "We always knew." And he was crying when he told me that. And he was just like, "But why didn't you say anything?" And it's like, "Well, because you never said anything, and we chose to just accept it." And what was weird is that if you looked at his apartment, it was pretty clear that there was one bedroom, one bed. So when his mother would come over, I don't know what, but he told me that at the time in the 40s, two men could sleep together in the same bed. And that's just the way it was. People didn't think that it was something sexual. So he just lived his life. But he didn't have that. And so that was a huge thing for him. So to see somebody come out at that age and say that, you know, they never had a holiday together in 47 years, they never spent holidays, because one will go with one family, one will go with the other. They always presented themselves as the best friend of the other, but they went through everything. They went through, you know, their three ways and their open relationship in the 60s. And, you know, so it's kind of, it was mind blowing for me. So I think that listening to everybody, I'm more and more inspired, because I feel it, that I should be doing that. I should do something with it. It's a treasure. And so hopefully that's what my future will be.
If you feel it, there is something there, my
Yeah.
brother. And I'm telling you, I'm just gonna affirm it for you all the way. That's a powerful story. And that spirit, that guide is the nudge. He's still around. He's like, "Hello, we had an agreement. What are you doing? You're wasting time."
Waiting for you. He's waiting for you. Yep.
I want my
Exactly.
debut. I couldn't fucking come out my whole life. Can I live now? Like,
Yep. And one of
Do
the
it,
things
bro.
that I actually realized about this group in particular, and Monica was not able to join us tonight. She had an emergency, but she's an author too. And I thought that, I was like, wow, there's something interesting about this group as to why, like, this group in particular was going to be connected tonight. And I'm happy that you're realizing that, Eddie, because who knows if that's like that next step, that next nudge that you need, that you want in life, because you've been thinking it. But yeah, who knows if like this is a catalyst, to just moving forward with that. And then you got a group of people who can also help you because they've been through the process.
And you also have your resources, right? You've been in the game long enough. You know how to do this, Ed. Like, oh, come on, bro. We just need to have a talk. I got you.
Exactly. So, yep. And the beautiful Erika, if you would like to share.
Sure, absolutely. Well, some of my projects, my goals, to be honest with you, I did not know that I had the talent of not so much expressing, but sharing with others what the writing that I've been doing all these years it's been 30 years plus. I have to thank Samuel for that, because I met him at ACQC, I think like about 4 or 5 years ago, when he went to do a presentation, and everything it just went on to there, it built a friendship. And I just made a comment to him that I was a writer, that, that I'd like to write. So that's when everything started. And then this past year during COVID, since I was stuck in this house, working from home, that's when he started pushing me. And he was like, "Come on, you could do it. Nothing could stop you." So I have to thank him for that, because if it wasn't for Samuel, for him, giving me that, I wouldn't have done it. And I have to thank COVID for that too. So COVID and Samuel, because I was stuck in here for 3.5 months. So after work, I will grab this computer and I will go, and he will go with me. He will take time out of his life, time out of his time to be with me, FaceTime, on the phone, because there were times when I wanted to just throw this laptop across the wall, because I'm not too much into that stuff. So he would be patient with me. He like, okay, and he went with me step by step last year. Like, okay, you have to do this, you have to do. He sent me files, pictures, like sometimes like different ways of doing this, different. So I learned how to put it, because I was ready. Like I told him, I'm ready to share with the world, you know, and I read some of my poems to him. He has read, you know, a lot of them actually, because he has my manuscript, because I sent it to him first. So he was like, well, I leave that to him, you know, what he said to me. So, but I was very pleased with the work that that was done. You know, I cannot take credit myself, because like I said, you know, someone was there for me. You know, he walked me through it, and you know, it was a wonderful experience, and I want to do it again next time in English. Um, and it's just something like, so it's a feeling like when I told someone the first time, because I had to go through my books from when I was younger. I didn't even remember writing those poems. I started crying with a lot of them, because they're so powerful and painful. But I cried because I had healed, not because I was sad or upset or anything like that. I was like, oh my God, this really happened to me. I really went through all this. Like I'm 47 years old now. And that's when I was a teenager, you know, 14, 15. I was like, wow. I'm like, I can't believe I went through all that. Like, I don't remember, you know, like I'm so happy. Like, I don't remember doing this and doing that and all of these things. But yeah, you know, and now I'm here and I'm happy that it's done and it's about to come out, and that I finally did it. I think that if Samuel wouldn't have been in the picture, it would have never happened, you know, but he was my guide, you know, one step at a time. So he's the father of my child.
Huepa. Ya tú sabes, we even setting babies up in the community spotlight. Future babies. Ay, bendito. That's beautiful. No, pero thank you. Ay, bendito. So everything you guys are saying is amazing. Samuel, you wanted to say something?
Know that I'm proud of her. I'm very proud of her. Like, she gonna make me cry. Like, I'm very emotional. I'm the type of person that like always cry.
Yeah.
No, but like I'm so happy about her. Like she have grown so much, and like it's like I can't wait to hold my baby, because it's also my okay.
He's guilty.
Okay. If not, I will block you. Anyway, so but I'm definitely can't wait to have her book on my hands and to read it. But I like this is just the beginning of a new adventure for her and also for me. And because like she said like she owned it to me, but now it's her work. I'm just basically there if she just need help. But the work she did, all the work. And the most important thing is not the book. It's not the most important thing is just the process that she lived in, because she becoming someone different. And for me, that is the greatest reward that I can have.
Exactly. And so, you know, even through this process of like talking it out, you know, everyone's kind of like learning, you know, inspiring. You're just realizing by speaking about it, like that process that you had to go through to get to where you are. But, you know, and sometimes like we honestly can't do it by ourselves, right? All the time, you know what I mean? So you need that push and the inspiration from someone else. So that's like the beauty of what's coming out of these conversations, you know? You see somebody, you meet them, and it's like totally inspiring. And that's why, you know, that's why we're connecting today. And with that said, you know, so last but not least, the last question of the night is, I know we talked about so much, right? But did everyone, so if you guys could just tell me, you know, what did you learn from someone, or, you know, what did you learn about yourself even tonight? And if you can share that, and I'll go with the order from the beginning. If we could start with Eddie Pavon.
I'm always connecting with the energies that vibrate on similar frequencies. I'm always where I'm supposed to be. So, I mean, it's a reminding thing, right? So I'm human like anybody else, and I come from less than standard backgrounds, to say the least. But you know, I have that little creeper that voice of the mind that comes up sometimes, and these opportunities that come up, like, you know, join the reunion or join my community spotlight, are little reminders that I'm still on this journey. I still have work to do, and I'm always where I'm supposed to be. And you never know who you're going to meet. That is beautiful. You are all beautiful, so in your own ways. So it's cool to share light.
Beautiful. And Erika, if you would like to share.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to agree with Eddie. I mean, I'm the kind of person that through the years, through all the experiences and everything that I went through, those paths, like, you know, I learned how to, you know, feel the vibes, the energy, you know, whether it's positive or negative, you know, I'm, you know, try to keep myself, you know, up here and not down here, elevate myself, you know, as much as possible. That way I could keep myself at, you know, at pose and try to keep helping others as well, you know, giving each other, you know, all the good you know, frequency and all the good vibes that I have, because just like Eddie also mentioned earlier, you know, um, we don't know when we're going to be gone. I mean, I could step out to the grocery store and I might never come back. I don't know what's going to happen. You know, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to wake up in the morning, you know? So also with this COVID situation as well, which to me, like it was mentioned by, I believe Eddie Baez earlier, like it's like somehow like a replica of when the AIDS epidemic hit us, you know, back in the day, you know? So it's like people panicking and all over the world. And I think that we should just, you know, I personally learned to take my life one day at a time, 1 second at a time. You know, 1 second at a time. I cannot make plans for tomorrow. I cannot think about yesterday. I cannot change yesterday. What happened yesterday happened. I can't make any changes. If I, you know, it happened. I'm a human being. I'm not a rock. You know, I make mistakes like just like everybody else. They're, you know, and tomorrow, sometimes people tell me, oh, what are you doing the weekend? I'm like, I don't know. Back in the day, I would tell you, oh, I'm gonna do this, that. I can't do that anymore. I'm living one day at a time. I'm at peace. To me, this is my temple, my castle. As soon as I walk in, I'm like, I'm at peace, my temple, my castle. I do what I have to do. I do my little rituals and I'm at peace. I'm at love. You know, you need love, I'm here. I always be telling my, you know, those people close to me, you need somebody to talk to, pick up the phone. Doesn't matter what time it is. I'm here for you. You know, I'm here for you. I'm here to give you the love because I know that I have plenty of love to give. They know nothing, nada negro aquí, nada energía mala. Everything here is good. All my heart's for you because when I go, when I'm gone, si un carro me chanca ahí, you know, I'm not taking nothing with me. I came naked to this world. I'm leaving naked. My little ashes. Just make sure you burn my little ashes and you take them back to my country and throw them there, you know, over there in the ocean. You know, that's all I ask. You know, nothing material I'm gonna take with me. I'm not gonna take nothing. You know, doesn't matter. You know, some people think materialistic. I can't think like that. Personally, I don't think like that. My spirit's gonna be following you, all of you. I'm gonna be a little ghost following all of you, you know. But other than that, I can't do nothing else. I'm gonna be a good ghost. Don't worry. You know, I'm gonna be like Casper, a good ghost. You know. So that's the way I see it. You know. So I'm so glad that I met all of you guys today. You know, I give you all guys my good vibes, all my love. You know, all the harmony and peace, all the world. You know, take it. You know. I'm giving it to you. I know we're like here. So I love you all and let's stay connected. I want to go to Jersey City Pride. That's for sure. I love Jersey City, you know, not for nothing, but I used to date somebody that, you know, she lives in Jersey City and I love the restaurants and all that, you know, the cool scene over there. I love all that, you know, so I'll be there.
Agree.
There you go. There you go. You heard it here. Hi, Erika. You fill me with so much like joy because you got the conviction, girl. Let me tell you, I love it. Okay, and Samuel.
For me, what I learned is just always to keep a mentality of a baby. Always, every time that I try something new, I cannot put so much pressure to myself. I just had to let it flow, take one day at a time, and just to embrace the process, because in the process is where the beauty is. And when you make all the beautiful mistakes, that's when you grow from it, you know. And I am glad about it. But the most things about like in that process is always asking for help. Asking for help is not because like you're weak or something like that. No, it's because like you have the hunger to learn, to grow. And like you don't sometimes, like for me, like now that I'm in the process of trying to do a podcast, things got like 2 weeks ago, I was asking some individuals to ask about how to that they already have a podcast, or how to do a podcast, or how to create a podcast. And from those four, there's only one person who wrote back to me, and he's a friend of mine. But later on in the future, I will talk about him. But like, it doesn't matter if people will close the door on you. Just keep asking, because that's very important until you find the door that will open up for you. And when that door open up for you, honey, you gotta give you all. You gotta show it all, and that's a bit of it. Thank you for this. We appreciate it.
You got it. You got it. And you know, I think exactly what you just said, just opening up the door. You know, I'm gonna actually lead into Eddie Baez, because you know, I know you're a busy man, and I didn't really know you, but you opened up the door to doing the community spotlight first, and like now I've gotten to know you a few more times and hang out and all that stuff. You know, so that's the beauty, right? You never know. You got to keep on trying, and because you know you feel something special when you meet people, right? And you're like, you know, so thank you for sharing that. So Eddie, yes, if you would like to share, if you've learned anything about yourself or about anyone else throughout this process.
But yeah, well, tonight has been a reaffirmation of the essence of who I am. It came out in my community spotlight, and I told Jomil that I grew up as spiritualist. So my mother, my stepfather, my father, so that was my life. And when you grow up that way, you have a different sense of reality. And I was a professor at Columbia in School of Social Work, and I would always start my class out by having a quote that says, in a world where children grow up believing that they're spirits, that's their reality. That's real for you. If you don't grow up with that, that's your reality. But your reality is formed by your experiences. And for me, I had that community of spiritual people that I grew up with, that understood me. And then as my father passed, my stepfather, that community kind of left. And so I've had to, I've had me and the people that I've run into over time. So this is incredible to see so many people with such a strong spiritual bent. So that's been really important. A while back, I went to a retreat that was all men, and it was men of a spiritual persuasion. So it was we went on a mountain, and there were people that were Wiccan, there were people that were born again Christian, there were Santeros, there was everybody, Buddhist, but everybody was drawn. It was a spiritual calling, and in the end of it, what we got out of it, I think everybody, is that we needed to claim our space as elders. I think that's what Pride is about for me. It's about giving back to the community. It's my way of kind of, that's what Gabriel is about, sharing information. It's a way that I can do the work that was spiritual. It doesn't have to be having a spirit come through you and telling people stuff. Sometimes it comes in a different way. And for me, claiming my space. But then also what I learned today is you never stop growing. So it doesn't matter that I'm going to be 65. It's like I'm going to keep learning the rest of my life, and I know that. And when I stop is when I think I'll start really aging. So I'm going to keep going, because I see that it's a process, of just staying active, staying involved, keeping this active, so this has been a really special night for me, and I thank you all.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And I'm actually going to share, like, I'm gonna go down and just share something that I've observed about this whole night, but just in general, that I've seen from each of you. So starting with Eddie Pavon, you talk about mindfulness, but you've always said how mindfulness is not just mindfulness like meditation, you know what I mean? And I see how you take the time to prepare, and you take the time to explain, and you take the time to push forward. So in that right, much love and power to you, my brother, because let me tell you, it's a sight to see, you know what I mean? Like the things that you've been able to accomplish from where you've been to where you are now. So that's definitely beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You got it. You got it. And then Erika, girlfriend, your power, your sexiness, your daily affirmations, and your conviction. I love it. You already know I was drawn to you, and like the friendship that we formed, it was something like out of the blue, but it was because I saw the good in you, and you already know that I love you to death. So you gotta definitely pass some of that this way. She's sexy, she ready. I love it. Because we have our days and we don't feel it. Pero muchacha, I love it. I love it.
I love you. I love you. Thank you for
yes, everything. You got it. You got it. Samuel, I love that you said that you can find the beauty in your imperfections, right? And it's okay to focus on one thing. And just, me personally, I used to be one of those people that I wanted to do it all, and I still do in some ways, but I've also, it's okay to just take time to just be like, just calm the fuck down, bitch. You have enough time. Right? So, and my friendship with you, obviously the same thing, just like seeing through your process, believe it or not, I met Samuel during like the worst times in my life, but, and I think I told you later, and I actually read his book and I was like, oh my God, like this is speaking to me, right? And Samuel was like, I would never be able to tell, but we all mask what we're going through, right? So thank you for that, brother. And then Eddie Baez, one of my newest friends, thank you. Thank you for your friendship, your strength. I love how you say that, you've had these different chapters in life, but it's never too late, and I think that's an inspiration to us all, to never be afraid to start a new venture. And in what you maybe think was a J-Lo movie. the movie Next Act. What's your next act? And for all of us, there's something to be said about what's your next act. It could be anything, you know what I mean? It's just a matter of you going there and just like starting that process. So I love you all for this, and just sharing. And then somebody that has been with us this whole night has been Marilyn, and I just want to share because she actually shared, and she shared her story. She's somebody who went through domestic violence, and she shared that, that she's seen all the positive vibes and energy and enthusiasm that you have all endured. And thank you kindly for sharing your stories, your truth. Love you bunches. God bless you all. And this is from Marilyn, who I've had the pleasure of just, connecting with all these years, and she's a supporter of anything positive. And I love you for Marilyn for that. So, thank you for watching tonight and staying with us. And then in closing, I just want to thank you all for inspiring me and inspiring others. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm so happy that you were able to connect today and share your story, and call yourselves, virtual friends for now, but one day we're all going to be hanging out, and may the power, right? And may the power of storytelling live on, and may you all stay blessed in your future endeavors, because the sky's the limit. And I know that everything you have moving forward is going to be amazing. And so, so in that, we have one more community spotlight, because we couldn't fit everybody into one, but there's one more coming next week, on the 15th at 8 o'clock. So stay tuned for that. Anybody who is watching, I'm going to definitely share this. Please, tell your family, your friends, share this. This is beautiful. Everyone follow each other on social media, go to the neighborhood, support each other's projects with the books, the poetry, the performances, everything, because we got to, believe it or not, even though it was 1, 2, 3, 4, it's a community, you know what I mean? And from this community, it's like an extension, like a web, obviously, that we live in, and we live in a beautiful world that we should definitely appreciate. So thank you for that. If anybody doesn't have any other words, stay blessed and good night.
Good night.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
It was a
All right, everyone. I love you all, and we'll stay in touch.
Yes.
Gracias.